next hour, Jeff and I will talk about licensure and business ownership, starting to practice. The business ownership part is just question and answers. We don't have anything prepared. It's just you guys. If you have questions, ask us. All right. But we're gonna start with a few things that Jeff and I have talked about from debriefing. Unfortunately, behavior and professionalism is in there again that we have to talk about. This was sent to, Karen actually found this. It's 12 signs you're a terrible employee. Okay? Tried to pull it up, but it won't let me through my email. Okay? So the very first one says, you're doing this. So you're pulling at your collar, and it says you're not punctual. Do we have an issue with that? You're not punctual. What'd you say?
I'll pull in my collar.
She doesn't pull out her collar. But do we have an issue with that? That's being on time. Or lack of being on time. Right? Some of us do, some of us don't. This one?
What does that one mean?
It's not my fault.
This one right here. You make excuses. All right? You do the bare minimum. Kind of what it looks like. You love to gossip. Hey, let me tell you something. Kind of thing. Number 5, you think you're the smartest person in the office. Anybody in here? You don't believe in your company's mission or values. Probably shouldn't be there. Number 7, you're noticeably less productive than your colleagues. All right? I would get rid of you. That's a good reason for a director or a manager to get rid of you. If you're not being as productive as everybody else, done. You're less money in my pocket. 8, you don't get along with anyone at your company. You have amazing clinical skills, but you don't get along with anybody. A little harder to get rid of you, but we can find ways. Number 9, you find yourself regularly apologizing to people. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. You're always looking for a way out. You consistently making demands. So no, this is the way it's going to be, and you're going to do this to a boss. You've already been let go. Number 12, you have no drive whatsoever. You do the bare minimum again. Okay, so those two go hand in hand. All right, you guys had to do a resume. Due next week, in case you guys forgot. Bring it with you, ready for a interview next week. Some of y'all are looking at me like, what the heck she's talking about? But next week, starting at 8:15, I will send out the order. We may just go alphabetical order. Every 15 minutes, there's an interview. So you have to be on time. There will be a panel that's going to interview you, so dress appropriately. Have your resume in hand. And then we will do a group interview session from 12 to 1, or however long it takes. I doubt it will take an hour. And then the panel will decide who gets a job if there was one. All right?
So are we coming in at a certain time or?
Whoever has to come in at 8:15 was supposed to be here. What time should you be early for an interview? Andy
15
said?
minutes.
15 minutes early, so you need to be here at 8. All right. Just like your practicals. Be here 15 minutes early. Any questions about next week? From 1 to 4, that's class time. Whatever I need to get you guys ready for the next quarter for your clinicals. All right, wrap up anything that we need to do. So don't plan on leaving at 1 o'clock next week. Any questions about that? All right, assignments. You guys have assignments that are due in this class. And on clinicals, you guys have assignments that are due. I'm tired of having to email people. Give me your assignment. The only time I'm emailing you is when I have to have it to work on your clinical stuff. If you don't turn in your assignments, you're great. It doesn't bother me anymore. All right? So if you haven't turned in your clinical stuff that I have to have, I need that today so I can finish my job. All right? You have any questions? All right. Do you want to start with that?
All right, everybody look at your North Carolina Board of Physical Therapy Examiners application for PT assistant licensure. I want to show you a couple things with this. You guys need to send this in to the board if you flip, you'll see that your part is the two-page. Your part is 2 pages, front and back. You've got to have a passport photo, all that kind of stuff. There's lots of questions on there. The next part, here we go.
So if you don't have a passport, you gotta go get one?
Not a passport photo. You can go to any Kinko's or whatever and for $10.
You're about $8, $10
They'll
last
take
time
a
I got.
picture of you that'll be this big. Okay. It's just a mugshot.
Not a selfie.
Not a selfie. Trying to think if there's anything in here that's a surprise. If you don't know where you're going to be employed, that's fine. You can put that. That's okay. If you know where you're going to be employed, that's fine too. Put that.
Isn't this exciting though, John?
Yeah. Good. There's a lot of things about disciplinary action and so forth. Convicted of violating any narcotic or controlled substance law do not include convictions that have been expunged. That's why we kept saying to you, if you have something, make sure you get it off that record. Same thing with felonies, same things with acts of malpractice, all that good stuff. Hopefully, no insanities or incompetencies here. We've got certified check or money order payable to the NC board. Do not send them a personal check. They don't take credit cards. So this part, those 2 pages have to be completed by you. It does have to be notarized. So you gotta take it to your bank or wherever you get something notarized. Okay? You'll notice the next section, you complete this top part, and then I have the privilege of telling them, I am assuring graduation for you. Look at this. And we've got a definition attached for what that actually means. So I will assure, nobody screws up between now and when you hand me this, that we assure graduation, and then we've got to impress the seal of the school and send all this in. So again, what you need to bring to me, and let's just say this is next week, is just the top part completed. Just this. Your address and so forth. The final 2 pages, and unfortunately it printed front and back, and you'll need to make another copy of this. You have to have 2 character references. Again, you will complete the top part, and then you will hand this off to somebody, okay? Think about who you're doing this to, because they've got to have this to the board, all right? It's not you get to collect it back and then I'll send all this together. They send this directly to the board. So don't send it to someone who you know is going to put it on their desk for 3 years. Tell them that they can attest to your good moral character, they can check you off on all these things, and they will return this in writing to the board of examiners, okay? So, if I'm you, I would send this top page at the beginning of October, okay? That is roughly 110 days before you would sit for a licensure exam in January, all right? It takes 90 days for them to process this whole thing, or that's what they say, okay? In order for you to sit. Let me go to the next thing. The candidate handbook. This is the fsbpt.org website. All right, that's what the second form is that you have. Let me see that. Okay, so we knew it was 150 payable to the board. To sit for the licensure exam is going to be 400, and then they have a fee if you pay with credit card, which I don't know how else you would pay. It's not much, it's like $6, something like that. And then there is a Prometric Center charge, $70 for PTA. This fee is paid directly to the Prometric Center. and you can read through all of that here. So in other words, you guys are gonna have to pay about, what do we say, $700 and some to do all this at the beginning of October. Make arrangements, okay? Make arrangements. We tried to tell you this a year and a half ago, and it hasn't really changed, which is good, because it could have gone up.
First exam date, January 17th, I think.
I've got some dates back here. Hang on one second. I'm going to read those out to you guys. I'll write them up on the phone.
You guys know how great my math is, so if I add 150, 400, 6, and 70, I get 626. Not really sure if that's right, but it's my math. So you say you guys, overestimated. I think you guys can go to McDonald's afterwards or something.
All right, some dates. Actually, we don't need this anymore. You got everything on that form.
He never gets a good mark.
That is your application. So you need another one?
No, I'm writing the pencil.
Okay, so December 8th would be the last day that you could have this payment in. December 15th. Don't wait that long, though, people. You do not want this to be
This is not our responsibility.
exactly. Jurisprudence is approved by the 15th. Tiffany, you want to elaborate on that?
Already gave you guys the exam word for word and let y'all keep that one. All right? If you can't find it, you guys took it a couple of different times. If you can't find it, I can send you the test again. That was many minutes ago.
December 29th, seats are reserved until this time. Okay, so if you have got something that's outstanding, they're going to tell you on December 29th you are no longer going to be sitting for the exam on January 12th. And that's the board exam date, the 12th. January 20th, scores are reported. And on January 27th, again, this is all according to the website, online results available. You have 30 days to look at your online results of your test, okay? After 30 days, you have to pay for them. So I would highly suggest somewhere around that date that you take a look at everything.
So October, beginning of October, what's due?
October is when I would send the application to the board. With, what is it, the 150? And then you're also getting, I'll be sending in the assured graduation form, and then your character people. You don't want your character people sending this stuff in before you sent your application in, because they've got to have something to attach it to. So make sure that you send the application in, let's say October 1, you hand out the character references 3 or 4 days later, and then have those people send those in, okay? All of this stuff is related to FSBPT. This is for the licensure exam. 2 separate entities, okay? Yes?
So the day, the $400 to leave the take the test, we can pay that the day of the test?
No. You need to pay that in advance by the date,
Okay.
okay? That is done online and so forth on this fsbpt.org site. Again, this thing really highlights this very, very well, this page.
So it's not something you just glance over.
Right, no, there's steps, many, many steps.
It's not something you start on December 7th.
Nope. Questions?
When our scores are reported,
Yes.
do we have to wait till they're online, or are we able to like call
No.
somebody and figure it
No,
out?
you can't call,
Oh,
but scores reported, I was back in the Stone Ages, they put it on, I don't even know how my scores reported. They send you a letter.
oh.
I think that's what they say with scores reported, but that's what it is. The board website, the ncptboard.org website, you check that every day after, about 3 or 4 days after, because they just will, all of a sudden, you will appear with a PTA number.
Okay.
That means you've passed.
Earliest I've ever checked one was 2 days before, 2 days after, and it was there.
Oh,
You still have to have the documentation though. It was 2 to 3 weeks after we received a letter when I was in school. Now you can actually.
Yeah, they say you'll have it within 8 days. Yes,
So when you go look at that, does it show you like everybody who's just become a PTA or just yours?
everybody. What you do is you type in your name, and it'll spit out so-and-so PTA number blank. If you got a PTA number behind your name, that means you passed.
Oh, okay.
There's not gonna be on there, Chris made a 72 on his exam.
I mean, I didn't know if it's just gonna like list everybody who took
No.
an exam one day
No.
and who
No.
passed or whatever.
No, I don't think that, yeah, Robbie?
so the results on the 27th is going to be online for us to see.
Yes.
We print those out.
I don't know, I've
Have
never
to-
seen them before. You have any idea,
I
Tiffany?
heard
As far as
it's
results,
mailed.
as an
This.
employer, I've just checked on them.
You just check the
When your number
NC.
pops up, I write
Yeah.
down your license number and that's it.
That's why we say, we're not worried about if
And
you
then
make an A
if I
on it,
hire
just
you, you
pass
bring
it.
in your license.
Yep.
Because they still gonna mail it out to you anyway, right?
You may have to go online now and print it off, because that's how we have to do.
Yeah, that's true.
our-
That's true. License, yeah, we have to print it off.
So you can't work until you have your actual license.
Correct, as a PTA.
But you have your license once you have a number, correct?
Yeah, you talking about in hand?
Yeah.
No. If I was hiring you and I saw that you had a licensure number online, you would start that day. I guess it depends on the facility. Some facilities make you have that license in hand. But,
I think once they establish that number, you could print your license.
yeah.
All right, so let's talk about how we get to there. All right, we got lots of prep to do. Score Builders will be here. Score Builders is a licensure prep. We'll be here for 2 days. Needless to say, this is mandatory.
Both days.
8 to 5 the first day, which is Wednesday the 14th?
Wednesday before graduation?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wednesday the 14th, 8 to 5. I can even tell you what room we'll be in. We will be in room 229 on the first day, 8 to 5. Score Builders comes in, they will review stuff with you, and you will also take 2 practice tests. Okay? Actual practice tests, yes.
Did you say 229?
Room 229 from 8 to 5,
On Wednesday.
Wednesday the 14th. And then the following day, the Thursday, will be 8 to 3 in room 218. It is all paid for by South.
I think so.
What-
218.
You will take 2 practice tests. You will be given lots of material. But if you're like my wife was and you're panicked and you want to pay for other tests and so forth, you can go to this FSBPT and they have this thing called the PEAT. I forget what it stands for now. Practice exam and something. Anyway,
8 to 1.
you can pay for that if you like and take another practice exam if you're not happy with your prep today. Okay?
19, right?
4 times.
Oh,
That's good.
Yeah.
What was the room for the second day again, Jeff?
Room for second day.
218.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Oh, it's 2 different rooms, 2 different days.
2 different rooms, 2 different days. That's a lot to deal with, isn't it? I don't know how y'all gonna pass boards when you can't get to 2 rooms in 2 days. Okay. Questions?
If you fail, listen to his test.
It's a very good question. Looks like.
Look at this.
How much is a retake?
Same price.
Same
Same
amount.
price.
That's why we're not gonna worry about the second date.
Yeah, we're worried about the
Exactly.
second.
Practice exam and assessment tool is the PEAT. And it offers all these good things. What's included, you get 2 time 5-hour, 250 question, it's PT, 2 time 4-hour, 200 question PTA practice exams. That's if you need additional.
How much did you say that was?
They don't list it.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those things.
Okay.
So they can change the price on you if they'd like to.
The first room, 229.
2017 dates for PTAs: January 12th, April 5th, July 6th, October 3rd. Again, all this is on their website. Nobody's going to need that, right?
Did you say October 3rd?
October 3rd, correct. Any other questions about application, board exam, any of that stuff? Yes.
Are you guys allowed to be a character reference?
Yeah.
What was that?
Are we allowed to be character
That was
references?
my next thing.
Does this have to be in black ink or blue ink or?
I would, on the safe side, be black ink.
Okay.
I don't think it's required either way,
It
but
didn't say.
I wouldn't go pink ink, as some people would do.
Yeah, the board likes black ink, so.
That's
I
just,
would-
that's just a good.
Base it on,
that's
if you
just
ever
a
have a
good-
question with it, I'd base it
Yeah.
on black. References, character references, you wanted to touch on that?
Yeah, we are happy to do that. Now, we also are honest. So if you have been late, or you have been this, or you've done something else that we know about, because we know all about everything about y'all, it's gonna be honest. So if that's something, and that goes not just for this in terms of character references, this in terms of job references and so forth. I told you from the word go, we harp on professionalism. We want you to be a representative of this university and this program. So I've told, I can't tell you how many students that I have done references for, but, and Tiffany will tell you the same thing. We have also done references. Usually what I'll tell the student is you might want to look somewhere else for that reference if it's somebody who I don't think is going to be on time and do all these things that we've talked about over and over.
And how do you get there? You ask us if you can put us down as a reference.
Yeah,
The
don't
one
just-
thing I hate is getting a phone call or an email asking to fill out this form or go through these questions on someone that, one, I barely remember. Two, it's probably not gonna be a good, reference. And then just being blindsided because of it.
You
So,
can't forget us.
do what?
You can't forget us.
Good standard way to handle this, folks. If you want a CI, I think if you need to have at least 3 in your hand, okay? And you guys will talk more about this in resumes and so forth, but have 3. Don't have them listed on your resume because you might not want to use that one for a certain job you're applying. Have it separate. I would use probably one of us. I would probably use a CI. And then I would probably use somebody in the community, whether it's a group that you've worked for or volunteered with or church or something along those lines.
Just make sure they're professional.
Yeah. You can't, and that's just a general rule. And I would make sure that any of those people have a copy of your resume, know you very well. Know you very well. Any questions about that? Okay. Any questions about, do you have anything else on that?
No.
Any questions about business ownership and, goodness, starting from scratch? All that. You guys, anything you want on this, go ahead. I have no secrets
I
now.
feel like you should sit
What?
down with it, yeah. Just,
We got to sit now?
yeah. Because
She's
I'ma
done it
ask-
since me, so.
I'm gonna ask the nitty gritty.
Okay, before I get into it, I have a question for Tiffany, more so about class than business ownership. The questions about that, shall we gonna end up writing a summary on these also?
On what Jeff and I were talking about?
Yeah. Okay, great.